my name is Filipa. Welcome to my channel Awkward, where I provide parents with encouragement, knowledge, tools, and skills to give children mindful sexual education. I'm here in the hope that I can help you give answers to your children's very awkward questions about bodies, feelings, and sex. Today's topic is the concept of private and public. So it is important that children from an early age are taught that some behaviors and some places are private and others are public. One way of explaining this could be giving the example of a bus that is a public place that anybody can go on it and everybody can come off it, and you have no control over that, right? While your family car is a private place. And why is it a private place? Because only the people who mom or dad allow to get in the car can come into the car and go home with you, for example. And also inside the home is a private space. It's not just anybody who can come in and sit down on your sofa and watch your TV. So this is a private place. But in this private space that you share with family members, you also have personal, even more private places. For example, the toilet. When you go to the toilet, you go by yourself. As children grow older, so at about the age of 6, there is this solidifying of the sense of modesty, where children start claiming their privacy, where they start demanding to be alone, and they no longer want you to help them with their bath time, and they no longer want you to help them clean them. And they do this by themselves, and they start closing the door, and they like to change with the door closed. Obviously, this changing with the door closed thing will depend very much on your family's attitude towards nudity and the body, but also it will be a reflection of your child's own identity and how they feel about nudity. There are many cases where I have spoken to parents who walk around in their underwear at home, for example, and this is perfectly fine so long as nudity is treated with respect in the home, right? And the opposite is also fine, so long as nudity is treated with respect. And these parents who feel so open about their bodies and about their nudity, let's say, they have children who want to start closing the door. Especially when they get to this age of 6, or maybe a little bit later, when the secondary sexual characteristics start showing. So girls start getting the buds on their breasts, or they start growing pubic hair, and they start shying away from this family dynamic. And that's perfectly normal, and it has to do with that person's own identity and own ideas and values that they are shaping. Obviously, this is permeated by a context, a family and social context, but how they see themselves in the world is very particular to their being. And this is why there may be a difference, for example. So the reason why it is important to teach these things is also when kids it's for to protect kids, right? To protect kids from being vulnerable to abuse or unwanted attention. And by this I mean it is important that kids start learning how to do their own hygiene, how to wash themselves and wipe themselves by themselves from a very, very early age, so that they are less likely to be exposed to somebody outside your safe circle, for example, to have to help them with this very private thing, right? So it is important that your kid knows how to wipe their bums, and that you are teaching this from a very early age. So by the age of 4, they're able to do it by themselves, and they don't need somebody at school to help them, or like it's important, and it keeps less people in your personal bubble, which means that they are less vulnerable to any kind of inappropriateness. It is also important to explain what is private and what is public, in the sense of like who can see them naked, where they can be naked. For example, here you want to talk to them about the kinds of different clothing that they can wear. So you don't wear to the beach the same thing you wear to church, and explain the reason. Or you can't walk around the mall in a bikini, and why is that? A fun activity to do is to sit down with kids and draw different environments, and find out how they feel about them, and what they think is the appropriate way of being dressed in these environments, and of behaving. And also draw different people that are part of your child's life, and how they interpret their role in this life, and whether they are part of a more intimate group of people or not, and why. So it is important for kids to understand that it is not okay for other people to ask to see their genitals, that this is not something that is done, because our body is private, and our genitals are private body parts that not everybody can see. And then you name the people who can see them and touch them. Here you're talking about your safe circle, and also in what circumstances they can be touched and how. It is important that kids understand that they can only be touched by people in the safe circle for hygiene. And what a hygiene touch feels like is quick, fast, and not painful. So it is important that they know this. They also from the ages of about 2 to the age of about 6, kids are engaged in genital stimulation. So they touch their privates, especially when they come off diapers. They come off diapers as the first time that this body part is available to them, is accessible to them. So there's a tendency for kids to touch their genitals, and this is completely normal. And when you react to these behaviors, is in the way that it is normal, but that they have to be careful with how they touch themselves, not to hurt themselves. To do it with clean hands, so that they are not putting dirt in these very sensitive parts of the body, and also that this is a behavior that they cannot be doing in public. So these are a few ways that you can talk about public and private, and kids understanding what is the difference between the two is extremely important. But this is not just about behavior, it's also about conversations. There are certain conversations that you don't want your kids to go around and talk about, because they are not for everybody to hear. And this can be for several reasons. One of them is really simple. You just don't want to be asked about that particular subject, because you don't feel comfortable discussing it with other people. And it is important for kids to understand that they don't have to tell everything to everybody. They should not keep secrets from you, but that they don't have to share all their feelings with everybody. This is not in a way to oppress them, but it is to explain to them that their privacy can be demanded and must be respected. And this privacy is not just about their body, it's also about their minds and their feelings and their spirits. They don't have to share everything with everybody. But they shouldn't keep secrets from you. There's a difference between you and everybody. So public and private, you see. I hope this helped. This is a very complicated subject. If you have any questions, let me know. So comment, like, and subscribe.